So I thought I'd utilise my drive to work as well. This goes from just some stuff on Facebook this morning, in some of these groups, because at the moment this Women for Justice is going on, so it's all about the fight for violence against women. It's predominantly male violence towards women. And then there's this whole, there's lots of transgender people getting involved. So men who are now women getting involved in this violence towards women because they class themselves as women. So any violence towards them, they're classing it as male on woman violence. Well, okay, but I don't like them tarring themselves in the same brush, because it's mostly about domestic abuse, like in abusive male and female situations, like marriages and things. So there's not a lot of men and women married, and then the woman's abusing the male and he turns transgender. So then he's a woman who's had violence on him. I really don't know the situation, but it really gets to me that there's a lot of men getting involved in this subject, and it really is, forget the transgender issue, it really is about biological women, this one. They all are, but this one particularly, because there aren't many men married to transgender people who were men to women who are getting domestic abuse or abused and beaten. That's not what this is about. This is about women suffering violence. So these transgender people do not fall under that category. Even if they say they're women now, and we all agree that they're women, they do not fall into this category. Now, I get their support, but they can say this is violence against us women. I'm just not having that, because it's not. They're turning it into something for them, and it's not. It's about the women, biological women who are been preyed upon, and they're suffering. And not only that, it's these women, these activist women, who are insistent that transgender people who have gone from male to women are women, and they are part of this category of violence towards women. Well, they're not, but they are in the statistics of the law, because these transgender people are now being classed as women in law, and it's not right and it's not fair, because if there's anybody ever beaten up a transgender man for being a woman, I'm not sure how often that goes on, and I don't condone it. It's bloody awful. I would not stand by and have that happen on my watch. But having said that, that's these women saying that, our trans sisters, they need to be supported. Well, obviously I have the problem with the term trans sisters, unless we're talking about radios, of course. But so I've got a problem with that. But it's just the attack on women who say this is an issue for biological women and male violence. If you want to start one up about transgender violence, then do a march for transgender violence. This is about domestic abuse, any sort of violence towards women. Any violence from anybody really towards women, but a lot of the stories are coming from domestic abuse or male violence towards women. So they're saying, look, you start your own group, but then they're getting absolutely abused and ripped apart by these women, these biological women who have suffered or don't like the idea of trans men being involved in this particular subject because they're men and they've been abused by men and they don't want men there, and they say as much. They're abused by these trans activist women. They're abused, and they're called names, and they're made to feel even worse about what's happened to them. And I think that's disgusting, because these women preach tolerance and fairness and kindness, saying by bringing in transgender people, we're showing this tolerance and kindness, yet they can't spare it for their own biological sex. They're attacking and abusing women so that they are silenced and that they won't speak up for what's happened to them. Absolutely livid. I'm disgusted, and I'm losing it with our gender, with women. I'm losing it with women. I can't understand why they want respect from us. They want respect and tolerance from us to allow men into the women category, yet they won't give the tolerance and respect to women who don't want these women in the category women. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you don't like it, you really should shut up about it. But I think women who have women who are having their spaces and their voices removed by men do need to speak up. You have something to say and you should say it. But these women who just don't want these women to talk about it, they need to just shut up and go away, because nobody wants to listen to that trash. Support women or don't support women. Start your own hatred group against women who don't support transgender. I'm sure they're out there anyway, but go and bother yourself with them. Don't get involved with the women who want to stand up for women against violence. Just don't get involved with it. I'm absolutely livid. I'm pissing sick of it.